How's Mayor Gallo?
He's good. He's good. All right, we're live on Facebook, which is good.
How do they do the live on Facebook?
You gotta go to live. You gotta go to where it says
If
what's on your mind.
yeah,
Then you're gonna see a live thing,
yeah,
and then you hit live.
and then you just talk and
Then
you
it'll count down. It'll say go live, and then it'll count down, and then you could count down, and then it'll count down, and then you could start talking. It'll say you're live.
could these shows go on live Facebook?
That's what we know. We repeat them. This on live right now. Facebook. We're live on Facebook right now. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. This is Ada Harvey.
Ada Harvey.
And
Welcome everybody. This is Jane Ralph's house. We're having our announcement right now and our launch of our new show. Um, we've been planning this for a while, but things been coming up. We've been postponing recordings, but now we're gonna be doing recordings probably every Friday, hopefully Saturday. Please download the app. It's gonna be replayed 5 p.m. on Jane Ralph's house app, and also we're gonna be getting into a lot of topics that this is Ada's show, so this is not a Jay and Ralph's house show. She does add on with us as our as one of the slots on the channel. So, you want to just introduce your show to everybody?
hello, everyone out there listening. I just want to first of all say thank God for this special moment that John and Ralph have offered to me, this platform on their podcast, where I have my own podcast and I can even have guests.
Yes.
And the name that I've given my show is called Eight is Enough. Not
No.
eight like the number eight. ADA apostrophe S enough.
Okay. Good. Good. So it's gonna be called Eight is enough,
Yeah,
not
because I
the number
am
eight.
enough. Yes.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yes. I have a um well, first of all, it's a beautiful day out and I'm glad to be here.
Hmm.
I had a few things I wanted to say before I get into any serious topics. First of all, over the past month, I want to send my condolences out to someone that lost their life not too long ago. And I have a person that's I love like a mom that her husband just passed not too long ago. Right behind that, she had a stroke. So that's something that hurt my heart really bad. And a friend of mine who had a very severe mental issue and had to be hospitalized. I want to send my prayers out to her and all of those that I just mentioned. And the person that lost their life, I don't know why it's not coming to me, but if it comes to me, I'll bring it up again.
Hmm.
I just want to say I love these people and I really, really care about what has happened in their lives. And just know that life is beautiful. They say life is what you make it. But God's plan is bigger than ours, and He gives life, He takes it, and He is the one that has destined us to be whatever He chose us to be, the chosen one,
Hmm.
people with gifts and talents. And He is no respecter of persons. In God's eyes, He loves us all. We're all His children.
Oh yeah.
And no one sin is bigger or smaller than the other because sin is sin.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people, I don't debate about religion or politics because that's people's right to choose what they want. It's just sad to me that people can really not believe that there's a God. I mean, when you walk outside and look in the sky and look at the birds, the trees, the ocean, the water, it's impossible for me to not believe. I mean, to believe that people do not believe in God. But I'm not gonna be on here talking about spiritual things, but that's something that's deep in my heart and something that I really, really care about. I love the Lord,
Mm.
and any chance I get to talk about Him and praise Him, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I hope if anybody's out there listening
There's
and
people on. There's people on.
cares to call in and ask me anything or want to say anything, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, let's give them, I'm gonna give them the number. It's 516-709-0240. Whoever wants to call in and ask Ada a question. Like I said, this is her show, so she's in charge of the show. So she's gonna be coming up with topics. She's gonna be coming up with suggestions for her show, and we're just gonna be here recording and supporting her show. So, and please let everybody download the app, Jane Ross House, and her show's gonna be aired every. You're gonna be able to listen to her every Friday, every day actually, 5 p.m. on Jane Ross House app. All right, and then it's gonna be up into YouTube, our YouTube channel also, and then eventually we're gonna make her YouTube channel. So take it away. It's all yours.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I just want to say, I really, really thank you and Ralph,
No problem. No problem.
because that day I met him in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had been thinking about a podcast because I'm always home and I'm
Mm-hmm.
bored.
Mm-hmm.
I had been thinking about, oh, I would love to do a podcast and just sit here and talk to people and share information.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started looking up, how do you start a
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
and all the things you got to have.
No. Yeah. Of
And
course.
I just happened to go to the bank.
Yeah. Hey, he could have slept you calling hundreds too, Ralph. I don't know what he could have done that at least.
Yeah, that would
he
have
could
been
have he could have
great.
slept you hundreds or
Let me
something.
did it.
No, but you always have to remember when you're doing this. I've been in this business 32 years. You always have to think about how far you want to go
Mhm.
and how far you're going to take yourself.
Yes,
Because only you could take yourself to that place you want to be. So
yes.
remember that when you're
Well, with
doing this.
God's help, I will
Well,
get
no,
there if it's
listen,
meant
you
to
want your
be.
show a little show, you want your show a big show, it's up to you. That's you.
If
You're the only one that can make yourself go to where you want to be.
Okay,
So
with God's help, I hope I get there.
you would.
Um,
Like I said, it's your show. So
thank
that's
you.
up to you where you want to go with it.
Can't thank you guys enough.
Nah, don't worry about
But
things. Don't worry.
I was just talking to John, and I saw a show on TV the other day. Those evening shows, like those it's not sitcoms. It's like well, whatever the case. The wedding band, when you get married, I never knew that the wedding band goes on the left ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that, I found out, is because the ring finger on the left hand is the only finger on the body that has a vein that actually runs to the heart.
Closest to the heart.
So that makes a lot of sense why someone would put a wedding band on the left ring finger. And I found that so amazing. I can't wait to get mine one day.
Yeah, one day you'll be lucky
Oh,
to
when
get one.
God's ready, it'll
No, yeah,
happen.
it'll happen. You never
I'm
know when things
never
happen when you don't at least expect it.
Yeah,
You know
with Ralph going to the
exactly.
bank
You
and
know.
hearing him be right next to me talking about a
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and I just happened to, when he finished, we would finish at the same time, and I just happened to ask him, what does it take to start a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And he began explaining to me that it takes a lot of time, and you got to put a lot into it. And then he said you have to put money into it. Once he said finances,
Mm-hmm.
I get a check once a month, and nowhere near could I do any of this.
Yeah.
So
No.
I said to him, "Oh, I guess that's out." And
What?
he was kind enough to say to me, "Well, I have a podcast. It's called Jay and Ralph's House."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "If you want to be on it, you can." And he said, I said, "For real?" He said, "Yes." He said, "And if you were to be on it, what would you talk about?" And I said, "I would talk about mental illness,"
Mm-hmm.
which I did get into that subject when I first started the podcast. He booked me for January 2nd, was my first time here. And I got deep into my own personal
Mm-hmm.
mental illness. I'm gonna call it mental illness. Doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you just got to take care of your mental health.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I dealt with the deep anxiety and severe depression, and just negativity and life, and the curveballs that it throw at you.
Mm-hmm. No, listen, life. That's the way life is. Life throws so many
Let me
curveballs.
just ask you a question. Is there any way these could be tightened more, because it's sliding down? This
Yeah,
is
just push down. You gotta push down. There you go.
okay. Oh,
There
no
you
wonder
go.
it kept
Now that's
sliding.
for Ralph's big head, because Ralph usually sits there. but it's your show, so
Okay, thank you so
yeah,
much.
no, it's your show, so you sit there.
Oh, you have to see this guy's home. And you see, he's a collector of everything. He got so much stuff
Yeah,
in here. He's over probably a billionaire, and
yeah, no, it's a lot of, it's worth a lot of money, the collection, you know.
it's also interesting. I mean, there's things I've never seen before, things I've never heard of, and find it interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to get back to what, starting from where I last first left off.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna dig and delve too deeply into it, but mental health is a big, big issue, and I live around it. I see it every day, not just on television or commercials. I actually see it every day in people's homes, people on the street walking and talking to themselves like they don't have anybody, and that hurts me to my heart.
If
And
those, I don't mean to cut you off, but if they're bothering you, you could just take them off.
if I could take them
Yeah,
off,
because you're just doing it so you could hear yourself. You could just take them off if it's bothering you.
I'll be able to hear myself now.
No, you can't hear yourself, but I hear you.
Oh, okay. So let me take these off because
If
they keep sliding.
yeah.
Um, I just wanted to say to everybody out there, please take it serious about your mental health. It is no joke, and I'm not just saying that because what I deal with myself, but there's people out there that are really suffering really really bad, like with the schizophrenia. Now you got the bipolar 1, bipolar 2.
Hmm.
You got the people that got OCD,
Hmm.
ADHD, which all are part of the neurological. And people with OCD, like I said, mental illness, um, when it comes down to having schizophrenia and breakdowns and things like that, all come from trauma, whether it happened earlier in your life or whenever it happened. And for people with OCD, the reason why they get into habits where like some people gotta shut the door 3, 4, 5 times and keep doing it till it's just to their liking, or there's a carpet on the floor with little strings that they all gotta be straight and in a row. All that is part of mental illness, and the reason they do that is because the trauma in their mind, or the thoughts that are in their mind, that they don't want to face and they don't want to think about. So they find things to do with themselves repeatedly just to keep from thinking about those things.
Hmm.
And it's really sad because it's just like any other mental illness. ADHD, people can't, or ADD, people can't sit still. They always have to constantly be moving, which is something that is part of my anxiety. I can't be around that too long because it makes me anxious, even though sometimes in certain situations I have to set it out. But it makes me anxious to be around someone that's constantly moving around me. Just moving around me, not even doing anything, is because they really seriously can't keep still, and it's because of their illness.
Hmm.
And I really, really, really hope that more people will start paying attention to their kids, to their siblings. And if you see something that doesn't look right, or they're not acting accordingly, please look into it, because all the doctors do, which is something I dislike very much in the schools. And I'm not just saying the schools so that they're bad or anything, but this goes back even when I was young. When the child is bad or acting out or don't behave or don't want to listen, the first thing they want to label them as is having attention deficit disorder, which is ADD, or either attention hyperactivity disorder, the ADHD. And they feed them this Ritalin and all these pills to keep them calm, I guess, and to keep them from doing what they're doing. But people should really, really, really pay more attention, not only to other people, but to themselves if they're feeling any kind of way, because depression is no joke. I mean, it's an overwhelming sadness. It's a overwhelming anxiety, and it's just there's no real word for me to really sum it up because the effect it can have on you, where you actually really literally don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to be around anybody, you don't want to talk to anybody, not because you're mad or you're upset with anybody. That's just how you feel, like you're doomed, like you're in the bottom of the barrel and you can't crawl out. So if you're feeling like that, please go see a doctor, a therapist. My primary care doctor had to basically, she used to keep telling me, I think you should see a therapist. I think you should see a psychiatrist. And I was like, I don't need to see them because I already know what the problem is and why I feel this way. She said you need to talk to someone and you need to be seen so you can get medication or something to help you. And finally, I finally did it. Even that's around the time my brother passed because that was the worst. Even though I lost my mom and dad and other siblings and relatives, and it broke my heart and hurt just as bad. When I lost my brother, a part of me died because out of all my siblings, and I love them all. Me and him had a very special, close relationship long before he ever even got sick with cancer.
Mm.
And I really, 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 really miss him. I miss them all. But I really hope you hear what I'm saying before it's too late. People aren't, like I said before, they aren't waking up wanting to or looking forward to starting their day off getting high and turning into alcoholics, heroin addicts, cocaine and crack addicts. Like I said, I had my issues a while ago, and first of all, you can't be in denial about it. That's the first thing. You have to be willing to admit that you got a problem to yourself, even if nobody else. And there's no problem or no addiction or anything that's too big or too small that God cannot fix for all those out there that believe in the Lord. And I hope those that don't believe in the Lord will find their way to Him because if it wasn't for Him, we would not be here. We would not be able to go through some of the things we go through. And people say, well, if there's a God, then why does He let bad things happen? Well, you got to remember when God kicked Lucifer out of heaven, so many of the angels followed him and they became demons. So there is evil on the earth. You're fighting war and principalities and things you can't see around you, and there's portals and things that they can get through. And if you ever get a chance, and I've watched this movie a few times, and I said to myself, I'm not going to keep watching it. I don't want nothing bad to rub off on me from this movie, me watching it so much. It's called The Deliverance.
Mm.
You could find it on YouTube, and this is a true story. That's why I keep looking at it because I can't believe it. It's a true story about what a woman went through with her household being possessed with demons and how it affected her whole family, and you have to see this movie. It's called The Deliverance. Now, other than talking about mental illness, I like to talk about something that's important to me too. When people, I don't like the fact that people don't like to go to the doctor, and I'm not talking about mental illness now. People just don't want to go to the doctor. Some people, it's because they feel they can't afford it or even in the ER has to see you. They can't turn you away. So if something's really bothering you, don't just stay home and deal with it if it's that much pain, because you have to be seen. And when you're seen by any doctor, I don't care if it's in the ER, out of the ER, please learn to ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. And if you're dealing with a doctor, whether it's male or female, if they don't have time to give you their time to listen to hear what you have to say and what you're complaining about, or try to make you think it's all in your head, that's a doctor you do not need to see. You need to find someone that got time to listen to you, hear you out, and really care about your health just as much as you do. Because believe it or not, most doctors, they don't even take care of themselves. But and don't be afraid to ask. You should ask people when you go to the hospital, whether you put in the hospital or doctor's office. You really should make it your business to ask people their names, because there's some doctors and some people that'll come in and it's rude. They won't even announce who they are. I always make it my business to say, hello, what's your name? And there's some that just come in and give me their name. And I remember those names, even if I jot them down, and telephone numbers, case I may need to know, or something come up and I may need to know. Someone may ask, well, who did you see in the ER, or whatever the case may be. Please make sure you ask the right questions when you go to the doctor. And please, as embarrassing as it might be, do not be afraid. And I could understand why you would if you're involved in substance abuse of any kind and you're having a health issue. When you go to the emergency room or to your doctor, be honest with them, because if you go to ER for something serious, it don't maybe not even have to be that serious. Sometimes the little things are just as bad, and you're not honest with them, even if they don't ask you. But if it's something that's serious going on with you, let them know that you have a substance abuse issue, or you took this pill or that pill, because whatever they're going to do with and for you to try to help you feel better may involve them giving you something that may interact with what you were taking or what you're doing, and it could cause serious issues with your health, if not death. And I know that's not an easy subject to talk about when you're talking about to a doctor or people about your personal life. But believe it or not, when it comes down to the nature of your health and how serious a illness or whatever it is you're going for, you could save your own life, help them save your life, and maybe even get the help that you need. And I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. And there's another issue for women that I'm speaking on. Don't I had the fibroids back in 2006, and I never had an issue with fibroids or my menstrual cycle or anything like that. But when I got the other than the usual cramps and things, but when I started having bad pain in my abdomen, and felt like my ovaries were gonna fall out or my pelvis wall was gonna drop out. That's how serious the pain was. I had no issue with the amount of flow that came out of me during those cycles, or them lasting for long periods. It was normal with that, but I suffered with the ovaries, feel like they were aching, like they were gonna fall out. I had to urinate all the time. Well, I went and saw a doctor, and doctors, the first thing they'll tell you, most doctors, especially today, is, after they check you, you should have you considered a hysterectomy. That's something that shouldn't be the first thing they say when if you're, I mean, you may be in pain and going through a lot with the usual issues that go along with having a menstrual cycle. But then there's other issues where it's severe. Some people, they bleed longer and more than others, and they suffer severely in pain due to their cramping and everything. And those people may not necessarily have fibroids, but something serious is going on that has to be looked at. Most of the time, it's because they do have fibroids. Now, back in 2006 when I had mine, I got tired of feeling like the bottom of my abdomen was going to drop out every day, and the aching in my ovaries. And I got introduced to this, it's called UFE, uterine fibroid embolization. I had to go for an orientation over in Manhasset Hospital, and it explained everything. And what would be done. They had pictures up to show you, where they be going in, and how would they be doing certain things. And I chose the uterine fibroid embolization, even though I didn't have all those other issues, far as over bleeding or bleeding more days than I should have been. But the severe pain of my ovaries and everything feeling like they felt, and then my stomach would start, my abdomen was starting to get a little extended more than normal. And I went and had this done. What they do is take just like when they're gonna put a stent in somebody's heart or something, they go through the groin and it goes all the way up to the heart to unclog it. Well, in this case, you can have fibroids on the wall of your uterus and the front and the back, and they could be all different sizes. In my case back then, they just went for the ones that were closest that they can get to, that was the biggest at that time. And what it does, it cuts off the circulation, the blood flow circulation that it feeds off of. It cuts it off, and in the process, it causes the fibroid to shrink over time. And that could be painful because you can actually feel the pain, but it's worth it because I didn't have no more problems after that. I still had more fibroids, but I got rid of that problem. And then 4 years later, in 2010, uh, I noticed not only was I having that problem, but my stomach was sticking out like I was about 8 months pregnant. And that was due to fibroids. I couldn't even close my pants. I had to put pins in them and everything. And that's because the fibroids that were big that they didn't get to the first time, they when they saw them this time, they had gotten, the ones that were big had gotten even bigger, and it caused my abdominal area to extend to the point literally it looked like I was pregnant, like at least 7 or 8 months pregnant. And on top of that, I gained weight with it. And I got it done a second time, but this time they because they were bigger, when they did cut off this blood flow circulation, the pain was astronomical because they had to shrink because they were bigger than the first ones. And it took a while before I started actually seeing my abdominal area go down. But eventually, over time, it did go down. Now it's not there. I might look like maybe I'm 2 months pregnant now, not 8 or 9. But I just wanted to say, if you go to a doctor and that's the first thing they tell you to do is get a hysterectomy, please get a second opinion because so many women have gotten hysterectomies that didn't need them. It's just another quick fix for the doctors. I mean, even though it may help you in the long run, it doesn't make you less of a woman because you get a hysterectomy, like some people have a tendency to believe or say, or that it interferes with your libido. Maybe for some people it does, maybe it doesn't. But don't let them tell you you have to get a hysterectomy because and don't choose, if you can, a myomectomy. That's when they actually go in and operate and remove them that way. And they will tell you that eventually they will come back. So you be doing yourself a great service if you got the uterine fibroid embolization. You can look it up on your Facebook channel. It's called uterine fibroid embolization, and you'll be glad that you did if you're having this type of issue with your fibroids. And like I said, I'm not a doctor or anything. The severity of them can be terrible and may call for you to have to get a hysterectomy. But before you let a doctor tell you to do that, and that's the first thing you do because you want to get rid of the pain because it's so bad. And I've seen so many people that suffer so bad they can't even get out of bed. But if it's something that has to be done, that's one thing. But if it can be avoided, you be doing yourself a great service to your health, getting the uterine fibroid embolization. So I wanted to talk about that and get that out the way. Um, What else would I like to talk about? You know what else I want to talk about? That's important. Family and love and respect. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because so many families are divided. You know, I come from a big family, like I was telling Ralph when I was here, that my father had 20 children, and that's not a lie, it's the truth, because I could name them all. And we all look like each other, but whether the family's big or little doesn't matter because I have found during my 69 years on this earth that family isn't always blood. It's people that out there that love you and respect you and treat you more like a family member than your own family. That hurts. It hurts me to hear myself say that, but at the same time, I'm going to be truthful and say I go through that or I'm going through that. And I'm not calling any names, I'm not picking on anybody, but if you really search yourself and search your heart and be truthful, you know who you are. You know how you've hurt me. And no matter what, like I always say, no matter how much you hurt me or whatever you do to me, the last things anybody will ever hear me say is I love you. And I still love you all, no matter what's been done, what's been said. And I'm going to still be right here when you need me. And I want other people, look at your family because we're losing so many people. People are dying and dropping like flies. And the worst thing in the world is when you and family members don't get along and the finger is always being pointed at you and nobody ever takes accountability for what part they play in your relationship not being the way it should be. Sisterly, brotherly love, respect. You got to be willing to take accountability for what part you play in the relationship not being as it should be, as God would want it to be. And I just pray for not only my family, but for other families because so many families are broken and not together, not speaking, not talking. Just make your amends now. Life is short. And when you look around, see how many people that we have lost in the past year or two that we knew, that we were friends of ours, that we hung out with when we were young, family members that we were close to. Because in a family, everybody got their cliques. You know, some siblings are closer to this one than to that one. I love them all, but me and my brother, we had a special relationship, a very special relationship, and I try not to stay on the subject about him too much because I become very overcome with emotion. But said that to say, if you got to say I'm sorry to somebody in your family, or just make amends to anybody that you might have said or did something cruel to who didn't deserve it, please do that. That's what God would want us to do. But do that. Forgive people, even if you can't. Some people are unforgivable, but if God can forgive us, we got to learn to forgive other people. Because everybody has skeletons in their closet, has things they've done that they would dare not want anybody to know. And nobody should ever point a finger or cast the first stone. You know, don't throw stones at glass houses because you have to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes because you don't know why they're the way they are, whether they're family, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, or whatever. But we need to come together because united we stand, divided we fall, and that goes for family. Families need to really start acting like families. Make your amends now. Take accountability because the worst thing in the world is to know you're wrong about something and have too much pride to not be able to say I'm sorry. That's one thing I do not have a problem with. If I did something wrong or even thought I did something wrong, the guilt would eat at me because I'm not that kind of person. You all, I will always apologize and take accountability. Please start taking accountability. Please be responsible for your own actions. Please stop judging. And please learn to have some empathy and put yourself in other people's shoes, because technically you don't know what you would do if you were in their shoes. Well, and then again, literally, if you were in their shoes, you'd be doing exactly what they are doing. But please take time out to show more love and give more hugs. Let the hugs be real, not fake, because I could tell a fake hug. Everybody's not huggy, feely, touchy like me when it comes down to emotions and letting people know I care. You can feel the love. You can feel the love from people when they hug you. They say if you can hug a person more than 2 seconds or kiss a person more than 6 seconds, you can feel the love, that it brings on love. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but when I hug a person, I feel my love radiating into them, and I hope they feel it, because that's the godly love that we talk about, that we call the agape love. Let's try to have more of that and be there for each other. And if you can't say nothing nice or anything encouraging, please don't say nothing at all, because you don't know where these people been, what people are going through. And sometimes people just need a hug or a simple smile, and you could save somebody's life because they feel like they care, they matter. And for all those listening to me, whether I know you or don't know you, my heart goes out to anybody suffering, no matter what it is. I will never judge. Just know, I may not know you by name, but when I pray, whether it's at night, because I pray all day, night, when I pray for the world. I don't ask God why. God does not punish, He chastises. And the reason He does that, because He loves us so much. He does not want us to stay where we are in the mess that we're in, but He doesn't force His will on us. That's up to us. So I hope before it's too late, you make the right decisions in your life, even for yourself. And learn how to love yourself like I'm still trying to learn how to love myself. And I hope we all can come together one day. As Martin Luther King said, we shall overcome. I hope we can overcome the hatred and the bitterness, the judgment, the addictions. But I know for me, I never would have made it without God. I prayed until something happened. You could call it push, PUSH. Pray until something happens. So, to all you out there, known or unknown, whether you love me, like me, I'm always going to be me. I'm never going to regret the kind of heart I have and the heart that I have for other people. I just want to say, if nobody told you today that they love you, I love you. And God bless you.
All right, that's nice. This is the first taping of the show. We're gonna get into the second hour in a minute. I want to thank everybody for listening in. Please on Facebook Live, don't go anywhere. We're gonna be getting into the second taping in a minute. Just stay tuned. We're gonna take a few minutes, and we'll be back in a minute.
Wow. Where the shades at?
Did you shout me out?
Yeah, she
Shut
said
you up
you.
for what? I
Because
said,
Joe just said I
I,
got a big head.
Oh yeah, we said it.
he
Cause
said that.
cause
Because I was trying to squeeze these things and they keep sliding. And like, no matter how tight I pushed them, he said, that's for Ralph's head. That's why.
Oh, because I got a big head?
You don't have a big head. Well, you wouldn't know because you got all that hair.
Isn't it beautiful?
How you doing?
I just got off. I'm freaking